The world of Days Gone is here, and I think it's only a few matter of hours before the game actually drops in for everybody else on the PlayStation 4. And now that the embargo is lifted on the game, and I have so much things that I really want to talk to you guys about the game, on how it runs on both PS4 as well as on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I'm also going to be doing a full in-depth review of the gameplay mechanisms, the weapons, and the open world right in this video. Hey, what's going on folks, my name is Blackwoods and welcome back to another Days Gone video on this channel. So I've been uploading tons of Days Gone information and leaks regarding Days Gone on this channel for the past few weeks. So if you guys didn't know, my channel isn't sponsored by Sony or Ben Studio. So the opinions that you guys are going to get here are all subjected to me and my own personal opinions on the game. So you can expect me to tell all the flaws as well as all the goods in the game. So first off, let's start off with the good thing and then just move on to the bad ones that are in the game. So first, let's speak about the protagonist Deacon St John, who plays the role of a member in an outlaw biker gang. And Deacon is very emotionally attached towards his bike, and you'll also get to experience the relationship that Deacon has with his bike throughout the gameplay experience that you have in Days Gone. As the bike is the only companion with us during the exploration of the open world, and losing your bike in the game can actually give you a feeling of you missing it. So Deacon will have three main skill trees in Days Gone. They will include the rage combat, the melee combat, as well as the survival skills. Upgrading these will help you survive in the open world against the freakers as well as the infected creatures that you find along the way. As the game states that countless times everything is going to be coming after you. So you can now upgrade Deacon's health bar, stamina, and focus over time using the Neurotech syringe that you will be able to find in the game while you're exploring the open world. The game has 30 plus hours of main story mission and 6 hours worth of the cutscenes, which is really well done. And there's a few players who also reported that they took 60 hours to complete the entire game. So now as far as the story goes, I would say it is really interesting and has a very emotional connection towards the character. So now as far as the story goes, I would say it is really interesting and has that emotional connection towards the character. I've got reviews from the guys who completed the game already, as well as all the side missions that are present in the game. They all claim that the story does have a very emotional attachment to the character, but not all the characters you meet in the game, but most of the characters that are really attached to you. So now the question arises, is Deacon someone that can be missed like any other video game iconic characters out there? And the answer is absolutely yes. Now moving on to the weapons section of the game. We have different varieties of weapons in the game. The higher the rarity, the better its attachment and firepower as well as stability compared to any lower rarity weapons. Most weapons that you will find in the open world will be far worse than the ones that you get in your base camp. So Deacon will have a locker in his camps which will allow him to purchase any weapons and any throwable items as well as all the scrap items in there. So you don't have to worry about losing your old ones in order to switch to a new pair of toys that you can play with. There are actually lots and lots of weapons in the game, from handguns to rifles and shotguns to the crossbows, where you can craft the ammo for the crossbows using the crafting items that you collect over the open world. And the melee weapons in the game are the best of all, where you can fully customize your melee weapons depending on what kind of crafting parts that you have. The better crafted melee weapon gives you better handling as well as much more damage, and can take in much more damage before the weapon completely breaks. Now as far as the accuracy goes in Days Gone, I honestly don't like it, especially if you're new to console gaming and you're trying to land shots, then you're really gonna have a very hard time. Deacon can now switch shoulders while aiming down sight. You can also get silencers for your weapons from the vehicle parts in the world, which can save you from getting detected easily. The bullet penetration is available in the game where you can kill 2 enemies with just 1 bullet. So if you're lucky enough and land your shots right, then you can save up a lot of ammo for your weapon. You can now craft poisonous crossbow bolts that can make the enemies go crazy and kill themselves and also kill their own friends nearby. And remember, this also works on freakers as well as animals, so it is really fun to watch them go crazy and rip their friends off while you're just sitting on the bush and having a nice view of all the chaos going down. One of the most annoying things in the game is that your inventory is very limited and doesn't allow you to carry a lot of things that you need to until you upgrade them. The looting system in the game is very similar to what we have seen in The Last of Us, and me personally, I love The Last of Us crafting system and the looting system so far, and I think that Days Gone has done a very good job when it comes to that. There is also something that is really fun at the beginning but gets very annoying over time, that is refilling your bike with fuel. Even though the devs have mentioned that the fuel might not be your main concern all the time, or you don't have to worry about them all the time, the truth is that it actually is annoying that you cannot fast travel to any location that you want because your bike won't have enough fuel all the time. So you will always have to go look around for fuel every time you want to fast travel or even ride along to any locations in the open world. Your bike will take damage if you crash into things and can be repaired from the scraps that you collect from the other vehicles in the open world, or you can even get your bike serviced in your base. There are 240 collectible items in the game which can keep you players always engaged to explore the world in order to get all of these collectibles. To name a few, there are few collectibles such as the audio logs, the herds, the musical instruments, photos, and much more. There are some really big iconic places in the game which can make you feel like you're in a big city which are up in the mountains, like the skiing lodge, the big tourist resort, and the golf course. These landmarks are very iconic and are one of the most beautiful places that every player that plays Days Gone must visit. And you will be able to explore these landmarks in and out completely. Whereas you can enter 99% of the buildings you see in the game, and each one have their own unique interiors and look to it. The stealth in the game feels really well done, and the best part is that you can directly use the environment to your gameplay advantage. The weather system looks spectacular and looks stunning visually, as well as when it comes to the audio side of the game, such as walking on the snow makes your footsteps sound way different, as well as walking on the rain makes it sound different compared to what it basically sounds like when you're walking on a dry land. Now let's talk about the bike and the handling of the bike. So far the handling of the bike is very well done in Days Gone. And not just that, the way the player drives and handles the bike changes according to the path that you choose to ride on, and also the current weather in which you're riding on. So for example, if you're riding in the snow or if you're riding in the rain, the floor is going to be much slippery and you will have to control your bike depending on what kind of weather that you're riding it on. So now that we have seen all the goods of the game and all the in-game features of the game so far, there are some bad things that I would like to point out in this game as well. So let's start off with the game's performance in both PS4 Pro as well as the base PS4. Before the day one patch, the game kind of seemed okay-ish with the FPS drops on the PS4 Pro, which was not much to be worried about. But many have claimed that there are some massive FPS drop issues on the PS4 Pro after the day one patch, which was dropped worth about 23 gigs of download, where they have claimed that the game drops from 30 FPS to 25 to 23 at times, and this was reported only when riding across certain places on your bike. There was no frame drop noticed even when there were like 500 freakers present in front of you, or even if there were some massive explosions. But the issues of FPS drops are only caused when riding motorcycle in certain locations, which I think can actually get really annoying at times, and I really hope that the post-launch patch can actually fix all of these issues. And it is not just the FPS drops, there are also a lot of bugs in the game, such as characters disappearing and hordes of zombies falling into the map, and even the player goes through the floor and objects sometimes. But it is said that most of these things were actually fixed on the day one patch, but I'm yet to try the day one patch myself to see if these things are actually fixed or not. The characters in the game actually tend to talk to you in the radio while you're literally standing right in front of them, and the character that is talking to you on the radio is doing something else other than speaking to you, which I think kind of takes away the immersive experience when it comes to role-playing games. As you do things in the game, Deacon seems to comment on everything that you do and every action you take in a very hilarious way throughout the entire game. But the problem here is when you're trying to do a stealth mission, Deacon starts screaming to himself and talking to himself, which kind of takes away the immersive stealth approach that you're trying to do. So let's say that you're hiding in a bush and trying to stay stealthy from the enemies that you're trying to take out. And out of nowhere, Deacon starts screaming and talking to himself, claiming that he's going to cut their throats off, or even mocking the enemies that are standing right next to him. And the fun fact is the enemies are not going to hear it or not going to see you because you're hiding in a bush. But at times it is really funny to watch Deacon do some dumb stuffs like that, and I'm pretty sure that most of you guys are going to love Deacon's reaction on everything that you do in the world. We all know that open world games usually have bugs and whatnot. Even the golden game of all time, the Grand Theft Auto 5, also has countless amount of bugs in the game, but that does not stop the game from succeeding with the story immersive experience. Graphically wise, Days Gone looks amazing and fantastic and is also a very emotional story narrative game, but the bugs in the game along with the bad optimization for the PlayStation is the only reason why the game is being criticized so bad. And I'm pretty sure that these things could be easily fixed by just releasing a brand new patch. But since the new patch has dropped and it claims to have solved all the bugs in the game, I will try it out on both PS4 as well as on PS4 Pro and test out the game with a side-by-side review. And we'll be dropping a handful of review on the game after I spend a few hours onto the new day 1 patch. So as of now, if you guys ask me, my overall ratings to this game would be a 8.2 out of 10. And I would love to give this game a solid 9 out of 10, but the only thing that's like keeping me away from giving it a 9 out of 10 is that the game is having optimization issues as well as a few bugs. I don't know if those bugs are actually fixed in the current patch or not, so this is not going to be my final review for the game. So I'm gonna go test out the patch. I'm gonna see if all the bugs that I've seen previously have been fixed or not. So that is when I'm gonna drop my actual review on the game. So stay tuned for that one. Otherwise, Days Gone would make a very good story-driven open world survival game of 2019. And I think Ben Studios have done a great job when it comes to story as well as the gameplay aspect of the game, except that the game is not optimized well and there's some FPS drops and a few bugs and stuff like that, which can be fixed, which can actually be fixed using a patch. And I'm pretty sure that the devs are going to be launching a patch, which is not a huge problem at all. But for now, the best is to expect for another patch to drop in just to fix all of these issues that are currently present in the game. With that being said, I'll be dropping a full hands-on review on the game once I drop a few hours into the day 1 patch, and I'll give you guys my honest opinions on the game. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by Sony, nor am I sponsored by Ben Studios, so all the opinions that I give are my own personal honest opinions. And I'll also be continuing on making all the Days Gone videos every single day on this channel, including the gameplay, Easter eggs, and some in-game secrets, and much more for you folks. As long as you guys show support to the series by just dropping a like on the video and staying engaged with the community in the comment section down below. So this would actually let me know that you guys are actually interested in watching Days Gone videos on the channel and want to see more, and this would also encourage me on making much more Days Gone videos. So the best way to watch all the upcoming videos are of course using a subscription, which is absolutely free of cost. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you guys don't miss out on any future Days Gone content. I'm going to be dropping a full walkthrough series of all parts of Days Gone in a few hours on this channel. So make sure that you guys don't miss out on that one. Until then, stay hyped and stay safe, and I'll see you all on the next walkthrough series. Peace out, amigos.